From the dawn of time, sweetness has held an irresistible allure for humankind. Honey, harvested from wild beehives, was among our earliest experiences of this primal pleasure. But beneath this veneer of innocent indulgence lies a complex reality.
Fructose. It's a word that's been swirling around the health and wellness sphere for quite some time now. But what exactly is it, and why all the fuss? To put it simply, fructose is a type of sugar. It's found naturally in fruits, honey, and some vegetables. Problems arise, however, when we consume fructose in large quantities, especially in its processed forms. Fructose is hiding in plain sight, lurking in countless processed foods and sugary beverages under the guise of high-fructose corn syrup.
To truly understand the controversy surrounding fructose, we must first delve into its chemical structure and compare it to its more familiar cousin, glucose. Glucose, the primary energy source for our cells, is readily absorbed into the bloodstream after we eat carbohydrates. Fructose, on the other hand, takes a different metabolic route. When we consume fructose in excess, it can overwhelm our livers, leading to a cascade of metabolic disturbances.
Imagine your liver as a bustling factory, tirelessly processing the nutrients we consume and keeping our bodies running smoothly. Now picture a truckload of fructose arriving at the factory gates. In small quantities, the factory can handle the load, efficiently breaking down fructose and converting it into energy, or storing it as glycogen, a reserve fuel source. However, when the fructose deliveries become relentless, the factory starts to get overwhelmed. Now let's talk about a major player in the fructose saga, high-fructose corn syrup, or HFCS. This highly processed sweetener has become ubiquitous in our food supply, lurking in everything from sodas and fruit juices to bread, yogurt, and even salad dressings. While HFCS is chemically similar to sucrose, table sugar, some experts argue that the way our bodies metabolize HFCS may differ, potentially leading to more adverse metabolic effects. The key lies in understanding where fructose hides in our food supply and making conscious decisions to limit our intake of added sugars.
As we've seen, fructose's metabolic journey is fraught with potential pitfalls. Emerging research suggests that fructose's metabolic mischief may extend far beyond the liver, potentially influencing the health of our gut microbiome. Some studies suggest that excessive fructose consumption may disrupt the delicate balance of our gut bacteria, leading to a state of dysbiosis.
The potential health consequences of excessive fructose consumption extend far beyond the borders of the liver and the gut. One of the most well-established links is between fructose and insulin resistance, a condition in which our cells become less responsive to insulin's signals. Fructose's role in promoting fat accumulation, especially in the liver, also increases the risk of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, or NAFLD.
To truly understand the intricate relationship between fructose and our health, we turn to the groundbreaking work of Dr. Robert Lustig. In his seminal book, Metabolical, Dr. Lustig delves deep into the metabolic mayhem that excessive sugar consumption, particularly fructose, can unleash. He argues that fructose's metabolic fate, distinct from that of glucose, sets it apart as a particularly potent driver of metabolic dysfunction. Join us as we explore the key tenets of Dr. Lustig's work.
At the epicenter of fructose's metabolic saga lies the liver, our body's primary processing plant for this sweet but potentially treacherous sugar. Unlike glucose, which enters cells with the assistance of insulin, fructose bypasses this regulatory step, entering liver cells directly through specialized transporters. Once inside, fructose embarks on a metabolic journey that can have vastly different outcomes depending on the quantity consumed. The excess fructose is shunted towards fat production, leading to the accumulation of fat droplets within liver cells.
One of Dr. Lustig's most insightful contributions to the understanding of fructose's impact on health is the concept of foodability. Lustig argues that these highly palatable, energy-dense foods hijack our brain's reward circuitry, driving us to overconsume calories and disrupting our body's natural appetite regulation mechanisms. This disconnect between calorie intake and satiety, driven in part by fructose's unique metabolic effects, contributes to a vicious cycle of overeating, weight gain, and metabolic dysfunction.
Have you ever wondered why it's so difficult to resist that extra cookie or turn down another glass of soda? Dr. Lustig's research sheds light on the addictive nature of processed foods. Fructose, unlike other sugars, has been shown to activate reward pathways in the brain, triggering the release of dopamine. This dopamine surge reinforces the desire to consume more fructose-rich foods, creating a cycle of craving and consumption that can be difficult to break. This perfect storm of dopamine stimulation and insulin resistance creates a potent recipe for food addiction.
Emerging research suggests that fructose's impact on our health extends far beyond the liver and brain, reaching into the depths of our gut microbiome. Studies have shown that excessive fructose consumption can alter the composition and function of our gut microbiome, leading to a state of dysbiosis. This dysbiosis has been linked to a range of health problems, including inflammatory bowel disease, autoimmune disorders, and even metabolic syndrome.
The relationship between fructose and health is complex and often portrayed in an overly simplistic and alarmist manner. Fructose, in its natural form as found in fruits, honey, and some vegetables, is not the villain it's often made out to be. The key to navigating the fructose conundrum lies in moderation and making informed choices about the foods we consume.
The adage "the dose makes the poison" holds true when it comes to fructose and its impact on our health. While small amounts of fructose, as naturally present in fruits and vegetables, are unlikely to cause harm, excessive consumption, particularly in its processed forms, can tip the scales towards metabolic dysfunction. Our bodies have a limited capacity to metabolize fructose efficiently. When this capacity is exceeded, the excess fructose triggers a cascade of metabolic derangements, including increased fat production in the liver, elevated triglycerides, insulin resistance, and chronic inflammation. The threshold for fructose toxicity varies from person to person, influenced by factors such as genetics, gut health, overall diet, and activity levels. However, research suggests that consuming more than 50 grams of added fructose per day, roughly equivalent to 2 cans of soda, can significantly increase the risk of metabolic problems. By being mindful of our fructose intake, particularly from added sugars, we can stay within a safe metabolic zone and minimize the risk of fructose-induced health problems.
The widespread use of high-fructose corn syrup and other added sugars is a major public health concern, contributing to obesity, type 2 diabetes, and other chronic diseases. It's crucial to rethink our relationship with sugar and prioritize healthier, more sustainable food choices. Food manufacturers must reduce added sugar and explore healthier alternatives. Consumers should read labels, be aware of hidden sugars, and limit their intake. Government policies can shape a healthier food environment. Implementing sugar taxes and restricting sugary drink marketing are effective interventions. Together, we can create a future with accessible, healthy food and less sugar influence.
Navigating the world of fructose and making informed choices about our health can feel overwhelming. Arm yourself with knowledge and adopt simple strategies to control your metabolic health. Start by becoming a savvy label reader. Look for hidden sources of added sugar. Prioritize whole, unprocessed foods whenever possible. These foods provide essential nutrients and natural sweetness. Be mindful of your liquid calories. Opt for water, unsweetened tea, or coffee instead.
Sci Sippers. We want to take a moment before we move on. Want to stay up to date on the latest science news in bite-sized videos? Smash that like button and subscribe to Sci Sips. We explore all things science, from the delicious world of fructose to the mind-blowing mysteries of the universe.
The global obesity epidemic has reached alarming proportions, with rates skyrocketing in recent decades. While a complex interplay of factors contributes to this public health crisis, excessive fructose consumption has emerged as a significant culprit, its metabolic fingerprints evident in the expanding waistlines of societies worldwide. Unlike glucose, which triggers the release of insulin and leptin, hormones that signal satiety, fructose bypasses these crucial hormonal checkpoints. This lack of feedback creates a metabolic loophole, allowing us to consume large quantities of fructose-sweetened foods and beverages without feeling full or satisfied. This disconnect between calorie intake and satiety, driven in part by fructose's unique metabolic effects, contributes to a vicious cycle of overeating, weight gain, and metabolic dysfunction. Moreover, fructose's propensity to promote fat production in the liver, a process known as de novo lipogenesis, further exacerbates the problem. This excess liver fat can spill over into the bloodstream, increasing levels of triglycerides, a type of fat linked to heart disease and metabolic syndrome.
Type 2 diabetes, once considered a disease of adulthood, is now increasingly diagnosed in children and adolescents, a disturbing trend mirroring the rise of obesity and the overconsumption of added sugars, particularly fructose. Fructose's metabolic meddling plays a significant role in the development of insulin resistance, a hallmark of type 2 diabetes. Insulin, a hormone produced by the pancreas, acts like a key, unlocking the doors of our cells to allow glucose, our primary energy source, to enter. However, when we consume excessive amounts of fructose, it interferes with insulin signaling, essentially jamming the locks on our cells and preventing glucose from entering. This insulin resistance forces the pancreas to work harder, churning out more insulin to compensate. Over time, this relentless demand on the pancreas can lead to beta cell burnout, a state in which the pancreas can no longer produce enough insulin to keep blood sugar levels in check, ultimately resulting in type 2 diabetes.
Section 3. The liver's lament, fructose and fatty liver disease. The liver, our body's primary metabolic powerhouse, bears the brunt of excessive fructose consumption. While capable of handling small amounts of fructose efficiently, the liver can become overwhelmed when bombarded with this sweet but potentially toxic substance. Fructose's unique metabolic pathway, distinct from that of glucose, favors fat production in the liver. This process, known as de novo lipogenesis, leads to the accumulation of triglycerides within liver cells, a condition known as hepatic steatosis, or fatty liver. In its early stages, fatty liver disease often doesn't cause noticeable symptoms. However, as fat continues to build up in the liver, it can trigger inflammation and damage, leading to a more serious condition called non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, or NASH. NASH can progress to fibrosis, cirrhosis, and even liver failure, highlighting the importance of addressing excessive fructose consumption as a preventable cause of liver disease.
Excessive fructose consumption extends beyond obesity and diabetes, affecting heart disease, gout, and cancer. Studies link high fructose intake to heart disease, the leading cause of death worldwide. Fructose is implicated in gout, caused by uric acid buildup in the joints. Emerging research suggests a link between high fructose intake and certain cancers.
We've journeyed deep into the metabolic maze of fructose, uncovering its potent effects on our health. Now let's equip you with the knowledge to navigate the supermarket aisles, armed with the ability to spot hidden sources of this ubiquitous sugar. The first line of defense in our battle against fructose overload? Becoming a discerning label detective. Don't be fooled by flashy packaging or health claims. Turn that box around and prepare to be amazed, perhaps even slightly horrified, by what you find lurking within the ingredient list. Remember, sugar is a master of disguise, masquerading under a plethora of aliases. High fructose corn syrup, agave nectar, cane sugar, brown rice syrup, these are just a few of the many names sugar uses to evade detection. A good rule of thumb: if it sounds sweet and ends in O's, it's probably a sugar contributing to your daily fructose intake. Be particularly wary of products that list sugar within the first few ingredients, as this indicates a higher concentration. Want to stay up to date on the latest science news in bite-sized videos? Smash that like button and subscribe to Sci Sips. We explore all things science, from the delicious world of fructose to the mind-blowing mysteries of the universe.